Mississippi has over $120 million to respond to a devastating public health crisis, but it's used less than $1 million to actually do that. Mississippi has quietly been receiving tens of millions of dollars from the opioid settlements each year since 2022. It's money paid from companies that contributed to an addiction crisis that's killed more than 10,000 Mississippians. Not much has been known about how this money's been managed, but a Mississippi Today investigation found that of the $124 million Mississippi's received in 3 years, less than $1 million has been used to address addiction. That's less than 1% of the money Mississippi has received, and far less opioid settlement money than every other state has committed to this public health crisis. Mississippi is splitting its money between its state and local governments. Most of the $124 million is overseen by Attorney General Lynn Fitch in the state legislature, but they've only used their share for attorney's fees so far. The local dollars have largely been a mystery for the last 3 years. I filed public records requests with all 147 governments that are receiving opioid settlement funds, asking for documents that show how much money they've received and how their leaders have been using it. We learned that the cities and counties have received over $15.5 million. Of that, only about $945,000 was used to address addiction in ways the settlement's lawyers laid out. Cities and counties spend another $5.4 million on purposes that didn't address addiction, often for general government expenses like payroll and construction. When Mississippi Today told Melody Worsham, a peer support specialist in Harrison County, about this spending, she offered to fill potholes herself if the cities and counties stopped sending money to their general funds. Dr. Judith Feinberg, a psychiatry professor at West Virginia University, said that, quote, "From a public health perspective, this is complete and utter bullshit." They put the majority of the blame on Attorney General Fitch, who repeatedly told cities and counties that they can spend the money like any other public dollars. Unlike Mississippi, most states said the funds could only be spent on addressing addiction. I sent a letter to Fitch asking her if she still stood by this decision and whether she might create a guide for how cities and counties can spend their money on addressing addiction. She didn't answer those questions. Her chief of staff told me in a statement that the opioid epidemic cost hundreds of billions of dollars, and the settlements allowed governments to reimburse themselves for past expenses. She also said that Fitch and her staff are looking forward to working with the state's Opioid Settlement Advisory Committee to spend tens of millions of dollars to address addiction. But that money isn't expected to go out until at least July 2026. Right now, the only payments from that share have been about $20 million to the law firm of John Davidson, a Ridgeland lawyer who helped negotiate the settlements. For now, the local unrestricted funds are the only Mississippi dollars that can be used to address addiction. That's how we've gotten here. Mississippi has over $120 million to respond to a devastating public health crisis, but it's used less than $1 million to actually do that. Every other state has committed at least $3 million to prevent and respond to overdoses. If you're wondering how opioid settlements have been spent in your town, city, or county, we've created an interactive map that has information about how cities and counties are using these funds. You can read our full investigation and view our visuals at MississippiToday.org.